Through OPTEX-GPT, hypothalamus artificial intelligence will be your co-pilot for the best decision-making. The future is now. OPTEX Optimization Expert System is a new vision of mathematical programming. OPTEX is an artificial intelligence focused on the design, implementation, startup, and maintenance of high-complexity mathematical programming models. The way the mathematical modeler communicates with OPTEX is through a standardized database, a unique data model for all mathematical problems or subproblems. It also allows you to perform high-level operations between models, such as joining or splitting them, and implementing multi-problem solutions, according to large-scale optimization technologies, or using multi-problem procedures, such as constructing optimal numerical functions. This allows the modeler to build mathematical frameworks in the same way that Lego models are built. Following the principles of generative pre-trained transformer AI, OPTEX-GPT will be the advisor that helps mathematical modelers and professional users when they require solutions in line with today's cutting-edge technology. OPTEX is focused on the implementation of artificial brains, conceived as a union of optimization models with information systems. In the development and maintenance of high-complexity mathematical programming, OPTEX avoids the intensive use of resources for programming computers. Making very large-scale models by the traditional way, using a computer programmer, it is an impossible way, because the programmer only can write a limited number of lines of good source code per period. Maintaining these models can be more complicated than doing them, if more than one programmer intervenes in the process. OPTEX is capable of producing infinite lines of perfect source code per period. OPTEX's standardization, while limiting the modeler in the creative development of their programs, allows OPTEX to be the artificial intelligence, generating all the programming components necessary to implement an artificial brain, which is the new artificial intelligence, which replaces the decision-making support systems of the past. To do this, OPTEX generate the artificial hypothalamus algorithm, which is based on a mathematical language between robots, based on the theory of duality, and which allows to solve multiple problems, under a scheme that we can call autonomous real-time distributed optimization, similar to how the human hypothalamus operates. The artificial brains is the evolution of DSS under the Industry 4.0 revolution that is conceptualized as a set of mathematical models that exchange autonomously information between them, working online, using distributed optimization. The hippocampus. Storage structures and processes from the decision-making that must be faced permanently. The artificial hippocampus is based on the mathematical synthesis of the information generated by algorithms and problem-solving processes, to use it in new runs of these algorithms to speed up the problem solution in real time. Artificial hippocampus store, like in the humans, the experience, and the knowledge acquired over time. Mathematical modeling expert systems. A knowledge-based system, KBS, must store two types of knowledge. Mathematical components, equations, problems, models, previously used and working properly. This information is generated by the modeler who builds the mathematical models and their entire operating environment, and results of previous runs to speed up the solution of new problems. This information is generated by the math models when they are used, and correspond to the trajectories of the variables involved in these models. The use of this information is totally dynamic, since it depends on the value of the input parameters in each new run. OPTEX is a high-level artificial intelligence that makes artificial intelligences. That is robots making robots, that make robots, that make robots. Similar to OPTEX, from whom they inherit their characteristics. OPTEX, Research and Development plus Innovation. The R&D plus innovation projects carried out by Hypothalamus Artificial Intelligence are neural nets applied to warm start using large OPTEX artificial hippocampus. OPTEX-GPT, an intelligent front-end for OPTEX, and OPTEX and digital twins. The first two focus on the incorporation of artificial intelligence in the management of the artificial hippocampus. The third is to upgrade OPTEX's visualization capabilities by linking them with digital twin platforms. Smart warm start using artificial neural nets. Usually, in the next run, the model starts from scratch, ignoring the past, that is, it has no memory. In some cases, it is heated from a starting point provided by the last run, presumably the last optimal solution, or a point that ensures feasibility. An artificial hippocampus, designed for the artificial brain, can take advantage of a lot of information produced within a run, and during the history of all runs. An example of handling of Bender's theory will be briefly presented. Following the principles developed by Bender's, it is possible to build an artificial hippocampus that remain active and useful beyond the duration of a run of a computer model. To do this, the cuts generated in each run must be stored in such a way as that they may be used later. This implies a coordination work, since it cannot be guaranteed that the information as it is produced can be reprocessed later. An artificial hippocampus stores cuts from one run to be used in the next, which will produce new cuts. Hi is researching in the creation of methodologies to generate new rules that fit the dynamic variation of the parameters that affect the models. The process is similar for Lagrangian relaxation. An artificial hippocampus stores cuts from one run to be used in the next, which will produce new cuts. Hi is researching in the creation of methodologies to generate new rules that fit the dynamic variation of the parameters that affect the models. The process is similar for Lagrangian relaxation. While all the mathematical support is solid, there is no theory that can indicate which cutting planes should be selected when restarting the model. Problem that becomes big when the size of the database grows. For this reason, it is considered necessary to develop tools based on traditional artificial intelligence, artificial neural nets, to help the management of the hippocampus database. The idea is that for very large problems, the selection process will include an ANN. Generative Pre-trained Transformers, GPT, are a family of neural network models that uses the transformer architecture and is a key advancement in artificial intelligence, powering generative AI applications such as ChatGPT. GPT models give applications the ability to create human-like text and content, images, music, and more, and answer questions conversationally. Organizations across industries are using GPT models and generative AI for conda, text digesting, content generation, and search bots. Source: aws.amazon.com. The essence of the project is focused on uniting the OPTEX database with an artificial intelligence built following the methodologies of the GPT artificial neural networks. A mathematical model stored in an information system can be conceived as the union of mathematical components harmoniously integrated. There are two types of components, or objects: basic mathematical definitions, indexes, sets, parameters, and equations or constraints; advanced concepts, problems, models, decision support systems, and artificial hypothalamuses. These components can be stored in a relational information system. It permits their handling in a modular way. Following the principles of relational information systems, and use structured query language, SQL, to manipulate the mathematical objects. This conceptualization is independent of optimization technologies, which allows to separate the formulation of the mathematical models from their implementation, using a specific optimization technology. Structured modeling allows OPTEX to consistently handle tens, hundreds, thousands, and generally any number of models and all of their components. These models share components such as constraints, variables, etc. The algorithms are generated by OPTEX, following the user's instructions, which can take multiple forms, such as a timer, or triggering the algorithm from another algorithm, or manually in any window. OPTEX automatically provides a hologram of the standard user interface, which is generated inline as the user explores the system. The definition of the models is done by filling in the blanks of the tables of the expert system, which can be done in multiple ways. One of them, standardized tables filled in Word or Excel. Joining, or splitting models, is done by keeping records in tables. The diagram on the right shows the structure of a decision support system, or an artificial brain, to support companies in the electricity sector. The DSS is made up of two models, Power and SGO, which have similar models, but slightly differentiated. High Power and High SGO integrate them models and information systems around a common data model. allowing models to be connected automatically through the database or through RAM memory, integrating them as an artificial hypothalamus for an electricity company of wide coverage. OPTEX-HI's artificial intelligence to develop artificial brains, manages the artificial hippocampus. It is oriented to make high-complexity large-scale mathematical models without programming. The models are built in a modular way, as if they were a Lego set, which are formed by a compatible system of equations, the Leo parts, for all models. The R+D project focuses on enabling professionals, who are not experts in mathematical modeling, to build highly complex mathematical models, using the mathematical models stored in an OPTEX expert system. To do this, GPT methodologies will be used, so that the development of a model can be carried out through a chat, and later through a conversation. OPTEX-GPT will become a cloud platform, by incorporating public models into the database, which will ultimately turn OPTEX-GPT into a service for companies, and professionals, who want to implement mathematical models on the fly. Visualization via digital twins. The digital twin is revolutionizing the industry. Driven by sensor upgrades and historical data, complex mathematical models can reflect nearly every facet of a product, process, or service. In the future, everything in the physical world will be replicated in the digital space, through digital twin technology. As a state-of-the-art technology, the digital twin has attracted HI's attention, and based on preliminary studies, HI has decided to link OPTEX with third-party computer platforms, specialized in the management of digital twins. The diagram presents the connectivity of the elements, or objects, that must be considered when building a digital twin. The main reasons for connecting OPTEX with the digital twin are: the mathematical models that are used to visualize in the digital twin, the dynamic spatial behavior, are the same ones that have been used for many decades. What has changed significantly is the visualization medium, which has migrated from reams of paper to digital twins. The real world, and the data that represents it, must be the same in all the technical digital visions we have of reality: digital twins, SCADAs, mathematical models, ERP, smart metering, GISs, etc. Since OPTEX already connects to many data storage and visualization platforms, the work to be done is already known. The link to the digital twin will be automatic, independent of the model and the computing platform, in the same way that the optimization algorithms are handled by OPTEX, on multiple optimization platforms. Like Herbert Simon, hypothalamus artificial intelligence believes that the computer-based mathematical modeling is the greatest invention of all times. Thank you for your attention.